Welcome back to Richard Reviews. Today I'm reviewing a music artist. I'm really excited to add music reviews to my channel. Today I'm talking about a singer who's getting bigger every day. I go on about him all the time to my friends and my wife. So it's about time I made a video covering his meteoric rise over the last few years, from putting songs on Instagram and TikTok to becoming the second most streamed country artist on Spotify, with a fan base as devoted as any singers. Today I'm happy to be reviewing Bryan. I first heard of Zach, the young man from Oleg, Oklahoma, when he was reviewed on another YouTuber's channel, Grady Smith. Grady vlogs about country artists, and he's worth subscribing to once you've watched this video. Once I heard about Zach, I looked him up on Spotify and YouTube, and I have not looked back. He's definitely my most listened to artist since then. Zach's growth has been organic. He didn't have a big record label behind him. He just wrote his songs, put them on social media, and let their quality do the talking. He did all this while serving 7 years in the Navy. Being an enthusiastic amateur, he recorded many of his songs at home in his barn. His first song to gain a bit of traction was Heading South, and that talks about how he walked away from offered record deals with national music companies. The deals all came with them having control over his music. He self-published his music for a few more years. During this time he released Deanne, his first album named after his late mother, and later Elizabeth, his second album. A strange thing started to happen. Country radio for years had been the shop window for the genre, and Zach couldn't get played. He was independent, his folk style still doesn't fit with the bro country. He sings about more than trucks, girls and beer, but the internet doesn't care for country radio, and his fan base grew in places like Spotify and YouTube and Instagram. He was becoming a big name without going through the normal routes. Just because Nashville and country radio didn't notice him, it didn't mean that he wasn't getting noticed in a lot of other places. After 7 years, Zach was honourably discharged from the US Navy, and now he's on a record label, but not in Nashville, but in LA, with the same record company as Taylor Swift. Zach then went to his largest tour to date around America. His audience was growing, and no one went to watch Zach play quietly. You know you're seeing a great artist when they hold the crowd, they interact with you, and the artist makes the experience intimate and you feel like you're the only person in the crowd. And Bryan does just that. In 2022, Zach released American Heartbreak, and this album got a lot more attention and started to get radio play. His most well-known song, Something in the Orange, I remember hearing on radio in New Zealand for the first time, and I swore in excitement. Zach loves his fans as much as they love him. In 2022, Zach booked to play at Red Rocks in Colorado, an open-air venue halfway up a mountain. The weather turned bad, really bad. Some of his fans crashed their car on the way to venue. He found out and paid for the repairs out of his own pocket for the hire car. This is one example of how far he will go for his fans. Zach stole the show with a 12-minute live performance of Revival. You can't say Zach doesn't care for his fans. This brought him into conflict with Ticketmaster and how much they rip off their customers. He tried more than once to get them to remove their considerable booking fees from already expensive ticket prices. They didn't listen, so he's refused to work with them any further, and he won't play at venues where they control the tickets for. He followed this up by putting out a live album called All My Homies at Ticketmaster. Zach has a great songwriting style. He has a tremendous number of songs, putting out 34 on his massive American Heartbreak album last year. Within days of playing at Red Rocks, he released a song referencing it. Zach's style is very much on the folk and traditional side of country. He's the antithesis of Nashville bro country. He doesn't use auto-tune, and his voice has some gravel in it. I mean, it's got so much you can lay a road with it. He's got a strong direction with his music, and that drew the attention of Yellowstone producer Taylor Sheridan, who has used Zach's music multiple times, only helping to increase his exposure. He appears in one episode, and you can tell it's a stage audience because they're quietly watching him play. A real audience would have ripped the roof off the venue. Zach is only 27 years old. He has achieved so much in the short time he's been performing. He's beaten the odds. He's created his own style. Zach's star is rising. I look forward to what comes next. We have years of his music to enjoy, and the way he's going, he will be writing songs and releasing music for years to come. He may become one of the biggest musicians of our generation. Since I started writing the script, Zach has won Best Male Newcomer at the ACM Awards. He has also headlined the Railbird Festival in front of 40,000 people. You can find Zach's music on YouTube, Spotify, and now on your radio. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel.